On September 11th, 2001, at 8:46 a.m., a hijacked airliner crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York. At 9:03 a.m., a second plane crashed into the South Tower. The resulting infernos caused the buildings to collapse, the South Tower after burning for an hour and 2 minutes, the North Tower 23 minutes after that. The attacks were masterminded by Osama bin Laden, leader of the al-Qaeda terrorist organization, who hoped to intimidate the United States into ending its military presence in Saudi Arabia and its support for Israel, and to unite Muslims in preparation for a restoration of the caliphate. 9/11, as the happenings of that day are now called, stands as the most significant political and intellectual event of the 21st century so far. It has set off debates on a vast array of topics: how best to memorialize the dead and revitalize Lower Manhattan, whether the attacks are rooted in ancient Islamic fundamentalism or modern revolutionary agitation, the role of the United States on the world stage before the attacks and in response to them, how best to balance protection against terrorism with respect for civil liberties. But I would like to explore a lesser-known debate triggered by 9/11. Exactly how many events took place in New York on that morning in September? It could be argued that the answer is one. The attacks on the buildings were part of a single plan conceived in the mind of one man in service of a single agenda. They unfolded within a few minutes and yards of each other, targeting the parts of a complex with a single name, design, and owner. And they launched a single chain of military and political events in their aftermath. Or it could be argued that the answer is two. The North Tower and the South Tower were distinct collections of glass and steel separated by an expanse of space, and they were hit at different times and went out of existence at different times. The amateur video that showed the second plane closing in on the South Tower as the North Tower billowed with smoke makes the two-ness unmistakable. In those horrifying moments, one event was frozen in the past, the other loomed in the future. And another occurrence on that day, a passenger mutiny that brought down a third hijacked plane, presents to the imagination the possibility that one tower or the other might have been spared. So one might argue there must be a pair of events as surely as 1 + 1 = 2. The gravity of 9/11 would seem to make this entire discussion frivolous to the point of impudence. It's a matter of mere semantics, as we say. But this book is about semantics, and I would not make a claim on your attention if I did not think that the relation of language to our inner and outer worlds was a matter of intellectual fascination and real-world importance. Though importance is often hard to quantify, in this case, I can put an exact value on it: $3.5 billion. That was the sum in dispute in a set of trials determining the insurance payout to Larry Silverstein, the leaseholder of the World Trade Center site. Silverstein held insurance policies that stipulated a maximum reimbursement for each destructive event. If 9/11 comprised a single event, he stood to receive $3.5 billion. If it comprised two events, he stood to receive $7 billion. There is nothing mere about semantics.